What's up, boxing fans? This is QuestX. This is my post-fight to James Degale versus Porky Medina. Um, where should I begin on this fight? James Degale. Let me tell you what my frustrations is with James Degale, and their frustrations because they're foreseeable problems that are going to happen when he moves up in competition. Yes, I know he fought the number 3 contender in the IBF, but let's keep it real. Porky Medina was a very limited fighter. He had a ring experience, but the talent-wise, the athleticism was not there. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel that Degale is not going to remain champion for too much longer. He steps up and he fights a more balanced opponent. They're going to put him on his ass. He has virtually no defense. Degale's version of defense is laying on when he gets hit to the body, and he's Madina, if anything, has kind of laid the blueprint for a more seasoned fighter, a more skilled fighter. That when you go to the body, stay to the body. When Degale is on the ropes, because Degale has no other answer other than to curl up and lay on the ropes and wait for his opponent till he sees an opening where he can slide out of range and get, spin off the ropes. That shit's not going to help him when he fights a more seasoned fighter who knows that, for the first round 1 through round 5, I'm going to invest into that body, and then I'm going to start countering you every time you switch. And then the switching, I'm thinking, I was listening to the Paulie Malignaggi saying that, he brought up an interesting point that Degale it seems to be too talented for his own good, because he does useless movement in the ring, which doesn't benefit him when he's fighting an opponent who's on the attack. Then we're going to talk about the 117, 111 scorecards. Let's be real. We all know what that's all about. That's boxing politics at its best. I had it, at the very least, a draw. I could see anybody pulling from Madina in the win. Madina put much more investments into the body. Degale was non-existent in round 11. I don't see how anybody can sit there and say that Degale won this clean. Yes, did he have the more flashy punches? Absolutely. But who was controlling the pace of the fight? You even saw at moments in time in the fight where Madina was cutting off James Degale. Yeah. So overall, if I'm going to assess this performance by James Degale, and especially in light of the fact that he said he was going to stop him earlier than Badou Jack, I think depending on Badou Jack's performance tonight, we will see exactly what will probably be the outcome of the fight between Badou Jack and James Degale. I'm sitting here saying that Badou Jack has improved steadily throughout the years, and if Badou Jack pretty much dominates Lucien Boutte, then it's not looking for the UK fans when it comes to James Degale. And I think also one other thing I want to point out about James Degale needs to find an identity, because he seems to think that the sticking the tongue out, being the flashy, the cocky, because he doesn't seem to have a line between understanding that there's a difference between being a showman and selling a fight to then, after, you guys are in the heat of the battle, after it's over, showing respect to your opponent. To me, Degale doesn't seem to have that concept yet. And he seems like a fighter who's headed for a really, really bad crash. So let me know what you guys thought about the fight. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to bring to the table as far as a discussion as to where Degale should go from here, what he should do back at home in the gym. I personally feel his defense needs to be, I think he needs straight work on just defense. Switch when you have to. Not stop doing it because it's just a habit. Because you can start to tell too with Degale when he's going to switch. He's starting to show tells of when he's going to switch and when he's not. Much like Terrence Crawford, TC, Terrence Crawford switches because it's a part of a game plan. With Degale, you can see it's just a habit. It's like where Leo Santa Cruz fights, where he's always shaking his fucking hands. It's just a tick. It absolutely. I mean, at first I thought it was a tactic, but to me, what it just seems like is he lands a few punches with the left, then he switches. He lands a few punches with the right, then he switches. It's nothing more than a habit. It's a tick, and he needs to get that shit remedied real quick, because there are top fighters who are going to understand and know and see it coming and know exactly what punch to land or throw, anticipating where he will be. Not necessarily where he is, but where he will be when he switches, and they're going to catch him and they're going to lay him on his ass. As for the 117-111 score card, straight boxing politics. The moment I heard during the fight that they had a potential meetup between Badou Jack and James Degale, I knew Porky Medina would have to literally drop James Degale in order for him to even just get a draw. As the fight progressed and they kept talking about Badou Jack, and I was like, okay, well, we've been here before, Rick. We know what's going to happen. It is what it is. So let me know what you guys think about the fight. I'm getting ready for the Lucien Boutte Badou Jack fight. I think Badou Jack's going to do good. I know a lot of people counted Badou Jack out early on in his career, but I think he's one of those. I think he's going to end up being. I don't want to sit there and like jinx it yet, but I think he's going to end up being one of those types of boxing stories. That's all I'm going to say. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be back with the Lucien Boutte versus Badou Jack post-fight after the fight. Peace.